Princess Noor wasn't cursed to sleep, she was cursed to be forgotten. If you are loving this magical story so far, consider subscribing to Tam's Imagination for more enchanting adventures every week. As her own family forgot her name, only one person in the world remembered, and he was coming for her, not with a sword, but with a secret. Now let's begin our story. A curse meant to wake her wish, a prince who was the only one who remembered, and a secret power she never knew she had, waiting to bloom. In the vibrant kingdom of Noor lived Princess Noor, whose name meant light. She was known not just for her beauty but for her brilliant mind and her garden, where she cultivated roses of every color. Her true passion, however, was her secret study of ancient languages and healing herbs. When a powerful and prideful sorcerer was insulted by her father, he did not curse the princess with a sleep. Instead, he cast a more cunning spell, the curse of forgotten light. A massive, tangled forest of magical, glass-like thorns erupted around the castle. The spell did not harm the princess, but it began to erase her from the world's memory. One by one, her own subjects, even her family, forgot she had ever existed. The curse aimed not to imprison her body but to isolate her soul in utter loneliness. However, the sorcerer magic had one flaw. In a neighboring kingdom lived Prince Rayyan, a young man blessed with a heart that remembered everything it ever loved. He had met Princess Noor once years ago and had never forgotten her kindness or her intelligence. While the world forgot, a single persistent memory in his heart burned like a beacon. He knew she was trapped, and he set out not to slay a beast but to rescue a memory. Meanwhile, inside the thorn-encased castle, Princess Noor did not weep or wait. She discovered the thorns were not just barriers, they were a complex magical language. She spent her days studying them, decoding their patterns. In her greenhouses, she found that her beloved roses, when touched by her tears of determination, began to glow with a soft light that made the thorns recoil. She was slowly discovering her own innate magic, the magic of Noor, or divine light, that she carried within her name and her heart. Prince Rayyan arrived at the imposing thorn wall. He drew his sword, but the moment he swung, the thorns multiplied. He then tried a different approach. He saw a rabbit trapped in the thorns and carefully freed it. To his amazement, the thorns didn't just part, they subtly rearranged, creating a narrow temporary pathway. He learned the rule. The forest tested character, not courage. He began a routine. Each day, he would perform a selfless act, sharing his food with forest creatures, mending a bird's broken wing, clearing a blocked stream. With each act of kindness, the thorn would grant him a few more steps. It was a slow but patient journey. Weeks later, from her tower, Princess Noor saw a strange, not fighting the forest, but communicating with it. She realized he was solving the curse's moral puzzle. She started her own work from the inside. Using her glowing roses, she began to touch the thorn at their base. Where the rose lighted touch, the glassy thorns didn't shatter, they softened and began to sprout green leaves. Prince Rayyan, guided by his unwavering memory, finally reached the castle gates. He didn't find a sleeping damsel. He found Princess Noor in her courtyard, her hands glowing as she gently trained a rose vine to climb a once deadly thorn wall. Their meeting was not one of shock, but of recognition and immediate alliance. You remember me, she said, not as a question but as a statement of relief. My heart could not forget, he replied. She explained her discovery. The thorns were a manifestation of the sorcerer's pride and isolation. They could not be broken by force, but they could be transformed by the opposite forces, collaboration and compassionate light. Prince Ryan worked from the outside, his consistent kindness creating a stable path and weakening the curse's will. Princess Noor worked from the inside, channeling her inner light through her roses, grafting life and beauty onto the spell of neglect. They met in the middle as she placed a single brilliantly glowing rose into his hand. He offered it back to her. Their hands touched around the flower, and a wave of pure warm light exploded outwards. The thorn forest didn't vanish, it bloomed. Every thorn transformed, bursting into a canopy of the most magnificent fragrant roses the world had ever seen. The curse was not broken, it was redeemed. The forgotten princess was remembered by all, now known not just as Noor but as the Rose Queen. And the prince who remembered became her king, ruling together with wisdom and compassion. For the strongest magic in any story is not a sword or a spell. It is the light we find within ourselves and the hands that help us make it grow. If you loved it, give it a like, share, and please subscribe. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.